1984 Washington quarter and thought it was just another ordinary coin? Well, hold on tight, because this humble-looking quarter might just turn the tables for you. After this intro, you'll discover how a simple 1984 Washington quarter could be worth far more than its face value today. So stick around till the end, because the price details and how you can sell yours might surprise you. The story of the 1984 Washington quarter begins in a time when America was stepping into a new technological era. Minted at a time when the US economy was growing fast, the 1984 quarter continued the proud legacy of the Washington quarter series, which first began in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin features the noble profile of America's first president. On the obverse side, a design that has remained iconic for decades. On the reverse, the majestic bald eagle symbolizes strength and freedom qualities, deeply rooted in American identity. The 1984 Washington quarter was struck at two major mints, Philadelphia, which left no mint mark, and Denver, marked by the small d beneath the wreath. Over 1.2 billion coins were minted that year in total, which might make it seem common at first glance. But the true value of this coin lies in its condition, mint errors, and unique varieties that make collectors around the world chase after it. Some 1984 quarters have been discovered with double die obverses, meaning the letters or numbers appear slightly doubled due to a minting error. This kind of flaw turns an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. Others have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or missing mint marks, all of which can dramatically raise their price. According to eBay and other online auction platforms, circulated 1984 quarters typically sell between 25 cents and a few dollars, depending on condition. But those in mint state grades, such as MS65 or higher, can command prices from $30 up to several $100s. And the rarest error types have shocked collectors by selling for over $1,000 or more at professional coin auctions. One particularly striking example is a 1984 Washington quarter with a double die reverse that sold for over $1,200 in pristine condition. Another example with a dramatic off-center strike fetched nearly $800 online. Collectors value these coins not just for their rarity, but because each one tells a story about the precision and flaws of US minting history. The coin's composition of copper and nickel also marks a significant shift in American coinage. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver, but from 1965 onward, they were minted in a copper-nickel clad composition to save costs. The 1984 quarter represents that modern era of practicality in US coin production. But even without silver, the right piece can still be worth. Have you ever looked at a simple coin in your hand and wondered if it could secretly be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Well, what if I told you that your ordinary 1989 Washington quarter might just turn the tables for you? After this short intro, stay tuned till the end of the video, because I'll reveal how this common-looking coin could be worth a surprising amount, according to eBay auction platforms and collectors markets, and how you can find out its exact value and selling process at the end of this video. The 1989 Washington quarter carries more than just face value. It carries a legacy that stretches back to 1932, when the Washington quarter was first introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, this coin showcases the noble portrait of America's first president on the obverse, while the reverse features the majestic bald eagle symbolizing freedom, strength, and pride. By 1989, this design had become one of the most iconic and beloved in US coinage history. Now, let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1989 Washington quarter. The coin was struck at two major mints, the Philadelphia mint with no mint mark and the Denver mint with the D. mark. Combined, they produced nearly 2 billion quarters that year, making it seem like a common coin. But as seasoned collectors know, Rarity isn't always about quantity, it's about quality, condition, and those rare minting errors that slip through unnoticed. BY 1989. The US Mint was producing coins using a copper-nickel clad composition, which had replaced silver after 1965. This modern alloy was durable and inexpensive, but certain quarters struck with exceptional precision or rare flaws have since become treasures in the collector's market. Among the rarest 1989 quarters are those with minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and missing mint marks. These errors make each affected coin one of a kind and highly valuable. Some collectors are willing to pay huge premiums for coins that show clear doubling on Washington's profile, letters, or date. According to recent listings on eBay and other major online platforms, circulated 1,989 quarters typically sell for around their face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated or high-grade examples, especially those graded MS65 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can fetch between $20 and $80 depending on their luster, sharpness, and strike quality. But the real excitement lies in the error coins. On eBay, some 1989 Washington quarters with dramatic minting errors have been sold for several $100s. One notable example, a 1989 D quarter with an off-center strike and retained details, sold for over $400. Another example of a double die reverse variety fetched close to $700 in a private auction. Have you ever held a simple quarter in your hand and wondered if it could be worth far more than just 25 cents? What if I told you that your 1971 Washington quarter might actually turn the tables for you? Yes, that ordinary-looking coin sitting in your pocket or coin jar could be hiding a surprising value. After this short intro, stay tuned till the end of the video because I'll reveal how much this coin is worth according to eBay, major auction platforms, and coin collector markets, and at the end, I'll tell you exactly how to find its true price and selling procedure. The 1971 Washington quarter is a fascinating piece of American coinage history. It belongs to the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, designed by the sculptor John Flanagan. This quarter features Washington's dignified portrait on the obverse side and the powerful image of a bald eagle on the reverse, a symbol of freedom, courage, and national pride. 1971, the US Mint had fully transitioned from striking quarters in silver to using a copper-nickel clad composition. This change occurred after 1964 due to the rising cost of silver, which made continued use of precious metal in circulating coins unsustainable. The 1971 quarter, therefore, represents the modern era of American coinage, strong, durable, and economical. Its core is pure copper surrounded by layers of nickel that give it that familiar silvery shine. In that year, the coins were minted in large quantities at two major US mints, Philadelphia, which bears no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a small d under Washington's neck. Combined, these mints produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1971, which is why at first glance, they appear quite common. But as any experienced collector will tell you, rarity often hides in the details, especially in mint errors, condition, and grade. What makes the 1971 Washington quarter especially exciting is the possibility of finding rare varieties or minting mistakes that can drastically increase its value. Examples include double die errors, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and die cracks. These minting flaws transform an ordinary coin into a collector's prize, sometimes selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the errors, severity, and visibility. If you browse through eBay and other online marketplaces today, you'll notice a wide range of prices for 1971 quarters. Common circulated examples typically sell for their face value, but uncirculated or mint state coins tell a completely different story. Coins graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC can fetch between $25 and $75. Some pristine examples with full luster and no visible wear have sold for over $100 at online auctions, but that's not where it ends. The real gems are the error coins. Have you ever looked at a simple quarter and thought it was just spare change? What if I told you that the 1985 Washington quarter in your pocket could secretly be worth far more than 25 cents? Yes, this ordinary coin might just turn the tables for you. After this short intro, stay tuned till the end because I'll reveal how much your 1985 quarter could be worth, according to eBay listings, major auction platforms, and coin collector markets, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you exactly how to find its true value and selling procedure. The 1985 Washington quarter is part of one of the most iconic coin series in American history, a continuation of the design first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, created by sculptor John Flanagan. The design features Washington's noble portrait on the obverse and the powerful bald eagle on the reverse, symbols of leadership, strength, and American pride. Even decades later, this coin still stands as a classic representation of U.S. craftsmanship and history. By 1985, the Washington quarter was being produced using a copper-nickel clad composition, an alloy of copper and nickel layered together. This composition replaced silver after 1964, making the quarter more affordable to produce while maintaining its durability and shine. The inner core is copper, and the outer layers are nickel, giving it that distinctive silvery appearance. During this year, the U.S. Mint struck millions of 1985 quarters at two major locations: Philadelphia, which has no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a small d under Washington's portrait. Despite being mass-produced, not every 1985 quarter is the same. While most were released for circulation, some were struck with exceptional quality, and others ended up with minting errors that today make them rare and valuable collector's items. The beauty of the 1985 Washington quarter lies in the details. On the obverse, Washington's portrait is sharp and refined, surrounded by the words, "Liberty and in God we trust," with the date 1985 just below. The reverse showcases the eagle clutching arrows, wings spread in pride, perched above an olive branch, a timeless symbol of peace and strength. These intricate details make the coin a miniature work of art, but here's where things get really interesting. While the 1985 quarter might seem common, certain varieties and error coins have shocked collectors with their high auction prices. Some rare errors include off-center strikes, double die obverses, die cracks, and missing clad layers. These minting mistakes make the coin unique, which collectors are always willing to pay top dollar for, according to eBay listings and other major auction platforms. The value of a 1985 quarter varies widely based on condition and rarity. Common circulated examples usually trade for face value around 25 cents. However, uncirculated coin. What if I told you that the ordinary-looking 1968 Washington quarter lying somewhere in your home could actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? Yes, you heard that right. That simple 25-cent coin might just turn the tables for you. After this short intro, stay tuned till the end of this video because I'll reveal its real worth, according to eBay listings, major auction platforms, and collector markets, and at the very end, I'll tell you how you can find out its exact value and the proper way to sell it. The 1968 Washington quarter is one of the most fascinating coins from the modern U.S. Mint era. It belongs to the famous Washington quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by the talented sculptor John Flanagan, the coin features the bold profile of Washington on the obverse and the powerful image of an eagle with spread wings on the reverse. These symbols represent leadership, liberty, and national pride, qualities that made the Washington quarter an instant American icon. The year 1968 was significant for U.S. coinage history. After 1964, silver was officially removed from circulating quarters due to rising metal costs. This means the 1968 Washington quarter was struck with a copper-nickel clad composition, a pure copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel. While these coins no longer contain silver, their designs and minting quality still made them. Collectible.in 1968. Quarters were minted at 3 U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Denver bear a D mint mark and those from San Francisco carry an S. What's special about 1968 is that this was the first year the mint resumed placing mint marks on coins, after a 3-year break between 1965 and 1967. That means the presence or absence of a mint mark can make your 1968 quarter particularly interesting to collectors. The San Francisco Mint produced both proof and business strike coins in 1968. Proof coins were made specifically for collectors, using polished dies and mirror-like finishes, resulting in beautiful, high-quality strikes. These proof quarters, when found in pristine condition, are among the most valuable from that year. Looking at online auction sites like eBay and Heritage Auctions, the 1968 Washington quarter's value varies greatly depending on its mint mark, condition, and rarity. Circulated quarters, the ones that have been used in everyday transactions, are generally worth their face value of 25 cents. However, once you move into uncirculated or high-grade examples, the prices start to rise sharply. A standard 1968 quarter from the Philadelphia or Denver mint in uncirculated condition can easily sell between $5 and $25. But if your coin has a higher mint state grade, such as MS65 or above, certified by grading services, if you own a 1997 Liberty quarter dollar, you might be holding onto something that could completely turn the tables for you. Yes, this simple-looking coin that most people overlook in their pocket change could actually be worth far more than you think. So stick around till the end, because I'll not only reveal how much this coin can fetch on eBay, Heritage Auctions, and other online platforms, but also explain how you can sell it for the best possible price. The 1997 Liberty quarter dollar belongs to the Washington Quarter Series, a design that began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, while millions were minted for circulation in both Philadelphia and Denver. What makes certain 1997 quarters valuable are their rare errors, high grades, and uncirculated condition. Most regular 1997 quarters are made of a copper-nickel clad composition and are commonly found in everyday change. However, the real treasures are those struck with minting mistakes or preserved in pristine condition, untouched by circulation. Collectors across the world hunt for these hidden gems, and if your coin has sharp details, a strong strike, and no visible wear, you could be looking at something valuable. On platforms like eBay, some 1997 Liberty quarters in gem uncirculated condition have sold for impressive amounts. Prices range from just a few dollars for circulated examples to hundreds for those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Coins that showcase special features like double die errors, off-center strikes, or proof-like finishes can command even higher values. For instance, a 1997 P quarter graded MS67 by PCGS recently sold for over $250. Another with a rare double die obverse error fetched nearly $400 at auction. And that's not even the highest some collectors are willing to pay. Premiums for perfectly struck coins or coins with unique toning that sets them apart. These sales prove that not all 1997 quarters are equal. The details on your coin, the mint mark, and its condition can make all the difference. When we talk about rarity, it's important to note that while millions of these coins were minted, only a handful remain in top grades. Over time, wear and handling diminish their beauty and value. That's why collectors chase after high-grade coins that look just as fresh as the day they left the mint. Even a small nick, discoloration, or scratch can significantly affect its worth. So if your coin still shines with original luster and crisp design details, it might just surprise you. Online marketplaces like eBay heritage auctions, and great collections are filled with examples of 1997 Liberty quarters selling at surprisingly high prices. A proof version from the San Francisco Mint, still in its original government packaging, can bring between $20 and $50 depending on its condition. Meanwhile, quarters with unique minting defects,